Hi, I'm Jody Miner with Making Minor Changes. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. I want to come on real quick and tell you a little bit about me and what it is that I do. I work with teams within organizations and practices to strengthen that group of people so that they can be the most productive and the most positive in a healthy workforce. I start with meeting with leadership, and we talk about what is going well and what would they like to see improved upon. Then I am able to compile a list of activities that takes about 2 afternoons or sometimes an afternoon or in a morning session, depending on your interests and needs. And a lot of times I'll start with something actually fun and upbeat because we want everybody comfortable, connected, and engaged. And then depending on the needs of your team, I sometimes will then do an activity called Needs in the Workplace. And what that looks like is I'll have everybody do a very brief assessment. And if you have a group of around 20 or less, well, I'll actually have everybody guess each other's needs. And this is a great activity to get a lot of discussion going. One time I was doing this with a group or an executive team of 5, and everybody guessed the president's need is power and control. Now, power and control is not necessarily a bad thing, but his shoulders dropped and his chin lowered, and he said, no, my number one need is creativity. So that allowed us to have some discussion about how is he getting that need met and how can they do a better job of working with him. A lot of times the next activity that I will do is called expectations amongst the team. Now, sometimes the word expectation is a little hard to swallow, so I'll call it things I appreciate. And what that looks like is I will typically start with having everybody write, or I'll write what everybody expects or appreciates from each other. And then we'll actually ask leadership to step out of the room for just a few minutes while we do what do they expect or appreciate from leadership, and what do they think leadership expects and appreciates from them. We'll ask leadership to come back in. They'll be able to clarify, speak up, and again, allows for some great conversation. Another thing that I do is called a cultural makeover. That's a little bit more time and intensive. And if you're just not real happy with the way things are going within your team, in your organization or practice, I will come in, again, I'll meet with leadership, and then I will meet with several employees or key players and interview them. And then I will create a plan, and then I'll come back, get your buy-in to then get that plan implemented. Another thing that I do is professional speaking, and I speak to groups and organizations on how to get your employees to want to stay without increasing their pay. All of these things create a better, healthier workforce. It decreases turnover, and it can be felt most importantly by your employees, but also by your customers. Customers can just tell when it is a healthy workforce. So if you have any interest in meeting with me about any of these things, I would love to talk to you. Again, I'm Jody Miner with MakingMinorChanges.com.